it in trouble.
Nah, it's all good. I mean, it's pretty full. If it start tweaking it, I'll play around with it some more. All right, Shalom. We're going to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true, holy, and powerful name of the Heavenly Father. Bahasham, meaning of the name. Yahweh Shai is the true, holy, and powerful name of his only begotten Son, who is the Savior of the nation of Israel, starting off with the elect within the nation of Israel. Israel consists of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, as well as you Israelite foreigners scattered abroad that may look like the nations where you've been scattered to, but are Israelites. And we also want to give divine honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing up his word in all sincerity and in truth. Our with the brothers from the Great Millstone branch out in Des Moines, Iowa, coming back at you with another lesson inspired by the Holy Spirit, Habakkuk Wadash. And this lesson is going to be based off of an article that the brother Ash from Tampa, or the GMS Tampa camp, had posted on their page. I believe it was Ash that posted it, but it's entitled U.S. Rehearse Dropping Nuclear Weapons 20 Kilometers from Russian Border. All right, and that lets you know, all right, what time it is, man. Okay, you don't do a rehearsal for no reason. You're rehearsing these things. Why? Because you plan to actually execute these things, man. So, hey, we're going to jump into it through the prophecies, man. If we could start off with Joel 3 and 9, and then we can grab Revelation 11 and 14 on deck. And I'm going to just read the first paragraph on this article. There's an RT article. It says, American nuclear-capable bombers have flown dozens of sorties across Eastern Europe in the past few weeks as part of drills designed to probe Russian readiness in case of an atomic war, Russia's defense minister has claimed. Right, and that's all we really need to get on this article, man. All right, so it's letting you know that they're getting ready. It says atomic war, but it's going to be a nuclear war. All right, it may be atom bombs that are blown up here and there and this and that and the third, but the Bible talks about the nuclear destruction. All right, and the two main characters, so to speak, all right, in this World War III is going to be Russia and America. All right, like it talks about in the book of Revelation, talks about the feet, all right, of that beast. Let me grab it. Revelation 13, showing you that Russia is going to be the main catalyst in bringing the end of this system, man. This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 1. Yeah, I'll just start at 1. It says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. All right, and this beast is representative of Esau Edom's power structure. All right, it says
verse specifically NATO and the EU.
Yep.
Because Russians are Edomites as well. Lord is going to use Esau to take himself down, but you got
verse 2, it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. All right, and that leopard that is speaking of is Great Britain, right?
Leopard is Greece. That's the beginning of their power structure. Yeah.
Okay,
so lion would represent Great Britain.
Yeah, Salagi, let me slow down. It says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear. All right, and that feet of a bear is talking about Russia, right? That's who's going to, and it's at the feet. Why? Because that's who's going to bring in the end of this system. All right, through that nuclear destruction. It says, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him this power and the seat and great authority. But that was the main point that I wanted to grab by reading that precept. It's showing you that what the feet of it said that what it is likened to a bear, and that bear is representative of Russia. And it's at the feet because it's going to bring in the end of this system through that nuclear destruction, that nuclear war. But we can grab that Joel.
This is Joel chapter 3 and verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords.
Right, it talks about what? Preparing war, right? That's them doing their war games. Like they mentioned in that article, it says that they're rehearsing, man. Okay, rehearsing for what? This nuclear war that is being spoken about in the Holy Scriptures, man. Thousands of years before before these things were happening, man. All right, that it was already spoken about that this nuclear destruction was going to happen, that this great World War III is going to happen, man. All right.
It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. It says, assemble yourselves.
It says, let the weak say, I'm strong. So you had different nations, all right, that didn't have, that weren't a threat, okay? They didn't have nuclear capabilities at one point. So everybody was in fear of Esau, Edom, or well, in fear of America, to be more specific, right? Because they didn't have the same weaponry that they had. But now these other nations, now they have nuclear missiles. Now they have nuclear missiles with multiple warheads and so on and so forth. So now these weaker nations, all right, now have strength, okay? Now they have a little bit more boldness because they have nuclear weapons as well, man.
Back in Joel 3 and 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither. Let me slow down. It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there,
it says the valley, come down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Right now, that word Jehoshaphat, it goes into the Hebrew word Yehoshaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment. Now, where's that going to be, man? That's over there out in the Middle East, man. All right, that's where the Lord is going to gather up those nations, man. Like it talks about later on in Joel, it talks about the Lord removing the northern army. That talks about these American troops that are going to be sent over there. You know,
it's the second chapter.
The second chapter. That's right. You know, so this is, see, all these things is lining up perfectly, man. It even talks about in the book of Revelation, it talks about Armageddon, all right, which is what the valley of troops, man.
The mountain of troops.
Mountain of troops.
Armageddon.
Con. You know, so all these things is lining up perfectly, man. But go ahead.
It says, I'll read verse 12 again. It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Mm-hmm. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, and the fats overflow, for the wickedness is great.
That's right.
Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision.
That's it, man. All right, so all this is talking about what? That great World War III, man. All right, it even talks about it throughout the scriptures, man. All right, talks about it in the book of Zephaniah, you know, talks about how the Lord is gonna I'll just grab it real quick.
Zephaniah 3:8.
That's it. Yeah, this is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. That's it, man. So that's what's going to happen, man. All those nations are going to be gathered up in the valley of Jehoshaphat, man, right? And that's where the Lord is going to bring judgment upon those nations. And we read it in that Joel. It says that the Lord is going to judge them, right? Well, how's the Lord going to judge? Like it says in the book of Isaiah, the 66th chapter, all right, that the Lord will plead with fire and his chariots like a whirlwind to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. So that's how the Lord is going to judge these nations, man, through bringing in, coming in that massive chariot, so-called UFO. All right, it talks about it in the book of 2 Ezra, the 13th chapter. It actually gives a description, all right, of how it's going to be done, man. Okay, the Lord's shooting out those lasers, man, turning them to dust. So this is going to be an epic event, man. That was it on that, right? Oh no, I was reading that Zephaniah. Yeah, that was it on that Zephaniah.
Right. Well, I'm gonna jump back to this article that you was reading. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna jump down to the fourth paragraph. It says, "Show who added that recent American exercises, code named Global Thunder." Mm-hmm. So these exercises that America is performing is code named Global Thunder. And what is these exercises? It's about dropping nuclear missiles, and it's code named Global Thunder. What is when thunder hit? What happens, man? It shakes everything. And it says a global thunder. So it's going to be a global shaking, right? See, these things are all prophetic. It says, codenamed Global Thunder, saw 10 strategic bombers practicing their ability to use nuclear weapons against Russia at almost the same time from the west and the east. The minimum distance from our border was 20 kilometers. At the same time, the Russian armed forces chief said that the relationship between his country and China was becoming increasingly important during a time when geopolitical turbulence and the risk of conflict are growing, which is these are all signs that the Lord is on his way. According to Luke, the 21st chapter says what? The sea and the people roaring. I'm roughly paraphrasing it, right? Speaks about the people with perplexity. 2nd Esdras 9 speaks about the uproars of the people. Matthew 24 says what? Wars and rumors of wars, right? These are the things that we're hearing, you see? And it's all going to add up into the two great superpowers of the world fighting against each other. Russia with its allies versus America with its allies, which American allies are what? The EU and the NATO that are joined with them. So it says, the minister's comments come amid growing tensions with NATO over Ukraine, with Kyiv claiming that a buildup of Russian troops across the shared frontier could be a precursor to an invasion. So it's going into just these different skirmishes and these different things that's taking place over there that's causing the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to be fulfilled, man. You see? Because in the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, this Isaiah 13 and 4, it says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, Lord of hosts, mustereth the host of the battle, man. So all this is being performed and being carried out through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua to perform his will. And this is what we're telling these people, that this world is fastly approaching World War III. And that World War III will be fought with nuclear missiles, according to Isaiah, the 9th chapter. Your brothers got it.
This is Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
That's it. So this coming up war shall be with burning and fuel of fire. And we see what these practices, right? Or these rehearsals of America dropping bombs, man. You see? And what do you think is going to happen if America drops a bomb on Russia? They're going to retaliate, man. And this is what we're seeing taking place throughout the world. These different tensions and these different skirmishes, which is only going to lead to World War III.
That's right. That's right. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38, and starting at verse 1. It says, and the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the chief, Salakia, it says, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Now, right now, who's dwelling in that land of Gog, man? All right. You have what? The Russians, man. Okay, so this is prophetically speaking, talking about the Russians. It says, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. That's right. So the Lord is going to continue to work on the minds, all right, of Russia, these leaders, all right. And what is he going to do? It said that he's going to put hooks into their jaws, right? And brothers always going back into that old USSR spirit, right? Going back into that mindset of what? Destroying America, man. It says, but then it says, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, right? And that great company is going to be his allies. Now, even all those other nations that were allied with the USSR, right? They're going to be allied together, all right, and come back in unison, and they're going to come with Russia, all right, to participate in this war, man. So if you look at the different allies of the USSR, those nations, they separated to a degree, man, but they're going to come back together and battle against America, man.
Ukraine being one of those nations,
That's
which
right.
is why it's skirmishes being fought over it, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Georgia, right?
Armenia,
Pakistan,
yeah,
you know, those little areas were all together with Russia, man. You know, And we see Russia positioning themselves in those different places again.
That's right.
You know, which is NATO is like, nah. So now we're seeing what this conflict between them. You know.
That's right. Then it says, verse 5. It says Persia, which is Iran. Right. They just recently changed their name in like the 1935 or something around
40,
that time period.
40 something, I think.
Yeah, it might be, but they even still had their ancient name, man. All right, the Persians, but that's talking about Iran, man. So it's listing what? All of Russia's allies, man. So you have Persia, speaking of Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer, speaking of Turkey, and all his bands in the house of Togomar. Now, when you look at Togomar on the map, it's in that Georgia, Russia area, man. So like we were mentioning certain of those other nations that were once a part of the USSR, you got like Azerbaijan, and then there's a couple of other nations that's right in there when you look it up on the map. But all those nations are going to come together, man. It says Togomar of the north quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. So if you look at what's happening, all right, Russia is even aiding these other nations. That he's giving Russia's giving them money. All right, they're giving them different military equipment and so on and so forth, right? So that they can make sure that these other nations that are their allies, that they can protect them as well. And that's all according to biblical prophecy. And it's letting you know that when America or NATO, right, when they start messing with these other nations that Russia is allied with, what's Russia going to do? They're going to step in. All right. Hold on. You need to back up, man. All right. But this is all happening according to biblical prophecy, man. All these different political agendas that are happening, man. It's all lining up with biblical prophecy. It says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. All right, and that's all I was going to grab on that.
Right, and it says, "Be thou a guard unto them." So what the brother was explaining that Russia is doing for these different countries, arming them with the different military defense systems, right? Yeah, giving them different military equipment, man. You know, so that's being a guard unto them, and we see these things happening throughout the word. Now, this is the book of Revelation 20:7. It says, "And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog," what we just read in Ezekiel 38, letting you know that Ezekiel 38 hadn't been fulfilled. You see, because John wouldn't be writing about the same thing. So this is a future prophecy that what we're living in the times of, man. It says, "And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about in the beloved city, and fire came down from the Most High out of heaven and devoured them," man. You know, so they're gonna have all their troops in the land of Israel and in these different areas, man, and they all gonna get hit with that missile, man, and also by the by the laser beams of the chariots, you know. See, this is the end game for America and all the rest of these nations, man. China ain't got next. Russia ain't got next, man. You know, this whole rulership of the Gentiles is going to be brought down through what? Through this nuclear destruction and through the appearance of those chariots, man. You know?
Right. I got this real quick because this goes back to that Ezekiel 38, how Russia is being a guard into these other nations, right? Now, this is from Reuters. From Friday, July 24th, 2020, it says, U.S. says Russia sent more equipment to Libyan front lines. Russia appears to be sending more military equipment to its mercenaries in Libya, including the flashpoint city of Sirte, and breach of an arms embargo, the U.S. military said on Friday. All right, and that's all we had to grab on that. So this is biblical prophecy. All right, it mentioned Libya being what? One of Russia's allies. And here it is. We're reading about how they were sending military equipment to their front lines, to their military, man. Okay. And that's not only being done in with Libya, right? Over in Iran, man. All right. Giving them missile defense systems and so on and so forth.
This is the book of Isaiah 13. And I'm going to jump down to verse 17. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them," which is the Russians. It says, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and that's those nuclear missiles, man. It says, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, neither eye. So, like, I'm sorry. It says, they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, man. So what? That's that nuclear destruction that's going to take place upon America, which was prophesied, what we just read through the mouth of Isaiah, through the mouth of John in Revelation, the 20th chapter we just read, through the mouth of Ezekiel in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, and also through the mouth of Jeremiah. It's Jeremiah 51, and I'm going to start at 10. It says, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua had brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, our power. Make bright the arrows. And once again, those arrows are talking about nuclear missiles, man. We can read that in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. We can start up in Isaiah, the 13th chapter, right? It says how they come from a far country. We can read that in another place in Isaiah where it says what the Lord created the smith that bloweth the coals and the fire. You see, all these different prophecies of what? Of the Lord giving Esau the knowledge of creating nuclear missiles, man, and how he's going to use those missiles to bring his own downfall. You see, it says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, the vengeance of his temple. And this is what we're seeing happening, man. You know, Russia is being stirred up, and along with the rest of these other nations, according to the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter. You see, these things were prophesied beforehand. We also read in the book of Zephaniah how the Lord is gathering all these nations together. And that's exactly what Ezra seen in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter that the brother explained earlier. See, Ezra seen the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shah cracking those clouds. And what did he see? He seen Yahweh Shah destroying all those armies that were gathered together to fight each other. But then when Yahweh Shah appeared, they stopped fighting each other and they started trying to fight the Lord. John seen the same thing in the book of Revelation where it says what? That Satan and his angels fought against Michael and his angels, man. That's that war in heaven that John seen. Meaning what? They were in the sky, the chariots and the fighter jets of these different heathen. And what? And got demolished, man. You know? But you got it.
This is Jeremiah 51. I'm gonna jump down to verse 30. Verse 28. It says, prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord Yahweh shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. But it says to prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes. So it's letting you know that Russia, all right, is the main character, all right, that's going to be opposing America, man. Right? See, one thing that makes America so strong is those different alliances that they have with NATO and the EU. That's why the scripture says, "Who shall make war with the beast?" Right? So that all the alliances that they have, man, and where they're militarized, they can they got warships in everywhere, and every coast, at every border, right? So they have strong alliances. So what are these other nations going to have to do, all right, to be able to take down this beast? All right, what are they going to do? They're going to create those strong alliances with Russia, man, to come together to battle against them, man. But that was it on that, Jeremiah. I'll grab this in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 20. It says, "Behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also in recompense in their bosom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power." That's right. So going into what the brother had read, it talked about how this is the vengeance of my temple, man, right? The scriptures talk about, for this is the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion in the book of Isaiah, the 34th chapter. You know, I don't know if we read it, but it might have been that Joel, all right, where it talks about how the Lord is gonna I'll just read it so I won't misquote it. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3 and verse 2. I'll start at 1. It says, "For behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem," meaning turn it over, right? Meaning take us out of that captivity. Verse 2, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." So one of the main reasons that this World War III is going to happen is for what? A righteous judgment upon these nations for what they've done unto us, man. That's why in that second Ezra that we just read, it said that what? It said, I'm going to read it one more time, second Ezra 15 and 20. "Behold, saith the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanus, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them." To who? All right. Talking about to his people, man. To us, the Israelites. It says, "Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also in recompense in their bosom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power." All right, so this is going to be a payback, man. A righteous judgment for how these nations have mistreated us, man. But that was it on that as well. That was really all I had, too.
Well, I had started up at that Jeremiah 51 that you read.
Uh-huh.
Can you start up? Start at 24, Bible Shah.
Okay. Jeremiah chapter 51 in verse 24. It says, can I start at 23?
Do your thing.
It says, "How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations?" Right, so the Lord is going to completely, desolate this place, man. All right, the hammer of the earth, man. It talks about that in the book of Isaiah, 14th chapter. All right, him who ruled the nations, all right, and continual anger, roughly paraphrasing, man. All right, beat them with a continual stroke, right? He's the hammer of the earth. He's the one that's bringing destruction upon the what is it? The plants. All right, I'm trying to think of the ecosystem, man. You know, the people and so on and so forth. But anyways, it says, verse 24, "I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou was not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh. The Lord Yahweh hath opened his armory, and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps."
Are you reading that?
Jeremiah 50 and 24. All right, now I'm at
51.
Oh, 51. Salakia.
Yeah.
I jumped over to 50.
51 and started 24.
Jeremiah 51 and 24. It says, "And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, said the Lord Yahweh."
Right. Speaking into what? The controversy of Zion that the brother was speaking about, man. So a judgment is going to come upon this place. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 25, "Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, said the Lord Yahweh."
And who is that destroying mountain? That's the hammer of the earth. The brother quoted in Isaiah the 14th chapter, that kingdom that was ruling all the other nations with a continual stroke, man. That's America. You see? Go ahead.
It says, "And I will render unto Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in your sight, said the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, said the Lord Yahweh, which destroys all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks and will make thee a burnt mountain."
Right. So all of America is going to be destroyed. And it says, "Thou that destroyest the earth." Well, in Revelation, the 11th chapter, it speaks about judgment coming on to those that's destroying the earth, man. And we're speaking about the judgment that's to come. Go ahead.
Verse 26, it says, "And they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord Yahweh."
Right. America shall not rise again, man. This place is through. You see that? Go ahead.
Verse 27, "Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her."
We read that Joel 3, right? Prepare the nations against her. Go ahead.
"Call together against her the kingdoms of Iraq, Mini, and Ashkenaz, appoint a captain against her, caused the horses to come up as the rough caterpillars.
Right. So now when you look into the areas of those different places, it says what? It says Ararat, Menai, and Ashkenaz. Now when you look up Ararat and Menai, those goes into the areas of Armenia, which today is called Azerbaijan.
That's
right?
what I had mentioned earlier.
And it says Armenia is a nation and former Soviet republic, right?
That's it.
That was
That's
together with Russia. So they're going to come back and together with Russia, going back into that Ezekiel the 38th chapter, man. You see? This is the what's the word? How is it? This is the what the Lord has orchestrated, right? Against Babylon. You see? You can finish it out, bro. It says against Ararat, Menai, and Ashkenaz. Now you could read that in Genesis the 10th chapter. You know that Ashkenaz is a son of Japhet. So is it talking about the literal son of Japhet? No, it's talking about the land that they occupied. That goes back into what? Ezekiel the 38th chapter. You see? So Russia being the Medes, being these different places in the countries that's confederate with them, is going to come against Babylon. And not only is Russia and its confederates, but also America's own allies is going to come up against this place, man. That's why in the same chapter it says, all, if I'm not mistaken, it says, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows. If I'm not, it might be the 50th chapter, but it could be within this 51st chapter as well. But also America's allies is going to come against this place. That's why in the book of Obadiah it says, they that were confederate with thee have laid a wound under thee. You see? According to Revelation, the 17th chapter, it says what? That those 10 horns, which represents the EU, they're going to hate the whore and burn her with fire. That's right. Meaning they're going to shoot their missiles on America as well, man. You see? So this is the end of America and the end of Esau's power structure according to the Holy Scriptures. You know? But that's all I wanted out of that, bro.
Come.
I got that precept you just quoted. This is Jeremiah 50 and 29. Call together the archers against Babylon. All ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. So that show you that all these nuclear missiles that's being created, it's all to destroy Babylon. It's all good. Everybody has the same target. North Korea makes a missile and they say, yeah, it could blow up California. Russia makes a missile, this can reach Texas. Iran makes a missile and this can blow up all of Florida. Why is everybody aiming at America? Because this is modern day Babylon. Ain't no one saying, yeah, this can blow up all of what's that place they say? The Vatican, right? This can blow up all of the Vatican. You don't even need a nuclear missile for that. You don't need 200 million warheads for that. You know, so it says, call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she have done, do unto her. For she have been proud against the Lord Yahweh, against the Holy One of Israel. So this place is going down, ain't no and ifs or buts about it, man. And it's going down right now as we speak. Okay, inflation is at its highest in decades. I was reading an article on Blacklisted News. It says, I am become inflation, or I am inflation, the destroyer of worlds, which that's a variation of a quote of the man that made
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, Oppenheimer, the man that made the nuclear
the
atomic bomb. He said, I am become destruction, the destroyer of worlds.
I become death.
I have become death. Yep, I have become death, the destroyer of worlds. All right, but that shows you that this place is already on its way out through what? Through inflation, through the collapse of the dollar. All right. And then here's another one. Shit, I didn't mean to do that. Here's another one in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, and verse 13. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. At the end of the day, it's all Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai's technology. The brother quoted it earlier. It says, I created the waster to destroy. That's what the missiles is being. The missiles are the waster, right? Those missiles are being created for what? To destroy, to waste this place, to turn America into a desolate wilderness, man.
Yep. And that's what John seen in Revelation the 9th chapter. That vocab say it's a bunch of goddamn Chinese niggas that's gonna be blowing fire out their ass, man. See, that's what Christianity does to the world, man. Look how bugged out it is. But John seen those missiles, man. Mm-hmm. Same thing as Joel the 2nd chapter. Joel seen those missiles, and this is what we're reading about. You got it, bro.
For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. And shall not miss what? Shall not miss America. We just identified the target. In Isaiah the 34th chapter, it says the Lord's sword shall be bathed in heaven and it shall come down upon Idumea. The target is there. All right. This place is destined for new. Fuck what Esau got. Esau can say, yeah, you gotta get this mandatory. This nigga's about to die. The nigga's about to get blown the fuck up. Yeah, you're gonna die if you don't take this chip. Fuck you. You about to get burned the fuck up with nuclear fire. We don't need to worry about him and what he's doing. He needs to worry about Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai and his plan and his agenda and his NWO. It says, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, to be shot into the ends of the world, showing you that it's going to come from one end of the earth, one end of the world, to the other end of the world, to the other end of the earth, man. That's an intercontinental ballistic missile. All right, from one continent to another, from one end of the earth, to the other end of the earth. And this is all prophesied in the Bible. Ezra was on the earth, what, thousands and thousands of years ago. But he's seen this. The Lord gave him visions of this, man. All right, Isaiah, Jeremiah. All right, even the brother mentioned John. That was, what, 2,000 years ago. All right, but they seen the destruction of Babylon. All right, just like we read in that Jeremiah, for all the things that this place has done, you're going to get rewarded for your actions, man. Thus with violence shall Babylon be thrown down. The Lord's going to shake the whole entire planet, destroying this place for what you have done, for the pride that you have promoted, okay, for the wickedness that you have promoted, for the vileness and abominations that you have spread across the earth. All right, it's just that you get burnt the fuck up. All right, as Sodom and Gomorrah did, like we read in Isaiah 13. That's it on that. Oh, let me get one more. It says, verse 14, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return until they come upon the earth. The plagues have been sent, man. The end of this plague, the water has been broken. As it says later on in the chapter, it says the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as a woman in the 9th month. All right, with great pains can pass her womb. When that water break, ain't no slowing. Hold on now. Hold on, baby. I'm at work right now. Don't come yet. Just give me a couple more days. Or I got to go on vacation first. No, it's coming now. All right. It's the same with what we see going on right now. We see these different trials or these different plagues and situations going on around the world. That's the water broke. That's the great pains can pass in the womb. Okay.
And the ultimate plague would be those missiles according to Zechariah. You know, that's the last plague that hit this place. It says what? It's going to cause the eyes and tongue to melt out of its holes, man. What can do that? You know? Right.
Well, there's a dude, he said the only technology that exists that can do that is nuclear missiles. You got it. That's it on that.
Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 4. It says the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people.
Right, which we read earlier, going into the gathering of these heathen into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Right, go ahead.
It says a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. It says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven.
What this brother just read. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven. You see, Russia shooting off its missiles to America, America shooting off its missiles to Russia, and so forth and so on.
Israel.
You know?
It says even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
Right. So it says even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. I got two real quick. Now this is the book of Psalms, chapter 7 and verse 11. It says the Most High judgeth the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. He hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors, man. And that's those missiles. You see, that's going to rain down upon this place. And the brother mentioned how they're not going to move from their target. Wherever they're destined to hit, that's where they're going to hit. Well, we could read that in Joel, the 2nd chapter, and I'm going to start at the 7th verse. It says, they shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. And that's what you call guided missiles, man. You see, not only is they're going to be guided through the technology of Esau Edom, but they're going to have the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua in them. So his technology is faulty. right? It could guide there, and then the missile can go off course. But the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not faulty, man. You see? So it's going to march on its way. It is going to hit where it's destined to hit. This verse 8. Neither shall one thrust another, they shall walk every one in his path. And when they shall fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded, man. And it means your missile defense systems. You see? So when you shoot up those missiles that try to deflect it, or you got your missile data, and none of that is going to work.
Right.
That's why Isaiah 13 chapter says what? It shall be taken up as a sheep without a shepherd, roughly paraphrasing. Meaning you have no defense, man.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be any defense against this judgment to come.
Yeah.
You see?
The city with no walls. There's no protection, man. And they say trying to defend against a nuclear missile is like trying to block a bullet with another bullet. Trying to defend a bullet with another bullet. It's not going to work, man. All right? Especially because the prophecy says you're not going to be able to defend against it. All the missiles and all the warheads is going to obliterate this place, man.
And that's what it is. It's the warheads. You know, what John seen, it says he heard the number of them, right? So the voice told him the number of warheads that was there, not the number of missiles.
Right.
Because one missile can hold multiple warheads, man. You see?
This is Job chapter 20 and 23. It says, when he's about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and he shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Right. So as this devil's trying to fill this new world order, get everybody MOTB'd,
Right.
so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Cause it all.
Yeah, that's right. That charagma.
When you start making them mandatory MOTB, which we see that getting closer, as he is about to fill his belly, it's talking about him establishing his NWO, and we're in the midst of that. These different words like mandate, you know, that's all a part of. Those are buzzwords. Build back better. Those are all buzzwords for the NWO. So we're in the midst of it right now. He's setting the table. All right, and soon he's going to sit down and try to eat. Meaning he's about to try to fulfill. He's trying to complete it. All right, that's what it means by fill his belly. He's trying to complete his desire, but the Lord is gonna pretty much. It says in Job, also the 5th chapter, pretty much cast down his enterprise.
He should not be able to.
He won't be able to accomplish his enterprise. Meaning he's not going to be able to fill his belly. Like that's going to go into.
That's right. It says he shall.
So it shows you we're in the end. He's trying to fill his belly right now. Right. We're in the midst of it.
So we see what's next.
Exactly. So what's next is the missiles, man. The more we hear about mandatory this and mandatory that and digital wallet and cashless society and so on and so forth, we may not be hearing about World War III that much. But that just means it's right around the corner. The two prophecies go hand in hand. World War III cannot come unless the microchip is unless the MOTB is implemented. All right, and vice versa. It's not going to be missiles, and then after the missiles, the MOTB. No, the two go hand in hand. So the more we hear about the MOTB, the more we know. The closer we are to the end. The closer we are to the missiles destroying this world, destroying Babylon. And as long as we've arose and depart out of Babylon, we ain't got nothing to worry about. As long as we're walking in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and Yahushai blood covers us, we straight. It says that for their sake came the flood, for the wicked sake came the flood. Same thing with this fire, this flood of fire that's going to come. That's for the wicked. All right. As long as we're doing everything that we can to live a righteous life in this wicked world and in this wicked body, the Lord's going to show mercy, man. I don't want to out. You got it.
It says he shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. That's talking about what? The missiles. That's going to go into further. It says it is drawn and cometh out of the body. Now, what's that talking about, man? That's talking about the missiles coming out of those silos, man. It says it is drawn and cometh out of the body. Yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall. Terrors are upon him.
That's the best way you can describe it in them times. That's the terminology. If you've seen a missile, you're not going to say, damn, Job's not going to be like, damn, yeah, intercontinental ballistic missile came out of the silo and it was, shining through the firmament. He wasn't going to say it like that. He said it is like a glittering sword. That's exactly what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like when you see a missile. You see when they do the drills and they practice their missiles, it looks like a glittering sword.
That's right.
All right.
It says, all darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him, It shall go ill with him that is left in this tabernacle. It says, a fire not blown shall consume him. Why? Because to have these nuclear missiles, they use nuclear reactions, man. They call it fission and fusion and so on and so forth, right? To create these missiles, man, right? But then it says, it shall go ill with him that is left in this tabernacle, meaning anybody that's left in America, man, when these missiles get shot off, man, if you are not a part of the elect, it's going to go ill with you, man. You're going to be left here, and like the brother quoted the precept in the book of Zechariah, man. Your eyes being consumed away while you stand upon your feet. In the book of Malachi, the 4th chapter, it talks about the day of the Lord that shall burn as an oven. Even in the New Testament, man. All right, it talks about, Peter mentioned it, the elements melting with fervent heat. Seeing that these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought we to be in all holy conversation and godliness, man?
Even Yahushua himself, he said that the Most High clothed the grass that is today, and tomorrow shall be cast into the oven.
Yeah.
You know, and he was using that to say, look at when Esau or when Gad got here, look how beautiful America was. You know what I'm saying? Was, man. Look how luscious it was, and the Most High did that, and then he gonna destroy it in 1 hour.
Right.
So how much more do he care for us? You know, using even our Lord Yahushua spoke about the destruction, man. You know.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a quick war. It's not gonna be some long, drawn out fucking battle. It says that in Isaiah 9:5. I said every battle of the warrior is. Y'all read that earlier. Well, every battle of the warrior is fought with garments rolled in blood and confused noise, but this shall be fought with burning and fuel of fire. Roughly paraphrasing. All right, this third world war. All right, the second war is past. Behold, the third war coming quickly. We're coming into that. We're coming into that third world's war. All right, and it's gonna go down fast. Yahushua said, beheld Satan cast down his lightning. We don't got too much longer, man. All right, though it tarry, wait for it. Okay, that's in the book of Habakkuk, but in Hebrews it says, he that shall come will come and will not tarry. Yahushua is on his way. Okay, and he's coming to bring that fire.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. Amen. Hey, counsel, having that being said, Lord's what I was edifying, we're going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hope of the elect, pushing out this word in all sincerity and the truth. With that, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. Layla Tawab.